Welcome back to the channel. I am AmalgamAsh and this is Stella Character Generator. Stella Character Generator is a program meant to create sprites and bust graphics. It does this simultaneously so that you can have an original character with its own sprite, walksheet, and bust graphics for your RPG Maker game. This program sells normally for $19.99 and I got it on sale on itch.io, and I'll put a link down in the description below if you decide this program is for you. I got it for $15 or $16, I think, so we're going to attempt to answer the question, is this for you? So right away you are faced with a very simple interface with a lot of dead screen real estate. In the upper left corner we have the layers. You can add and remove your layers here. It's very important that you're able to click on the layer and use these arrows to bring the layer up or down so that it can show ahead of or behind other layers. This is really useful for things like overlapping clothes, making sure your shirt's on in front of your pants. If you build your character with this consideration in mind, you shouldn't have to mess with the layer order at all, but it is really easy to use, so it doesn't matter. The middle section here at the top is layer properties. You can actually change your layer name to whatever you want, and then select a part type to put in that layer. Here we have rear hair, body, socks, shoes, clothing bottom, clothing top, head, eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, front hair, and accessory 1. Selecting a part type shows the different parts in the next window, and right here for parts all we have is slim female. Now we do have more than just slim female. We have 4 body types. We just have to select them from the file menu. We'll do that in a moment. Next we'll take a look at the layer control section. Here we have the color channel, and you can select your color channel and then pick a tint color. Doing that allows you to change one of the colors on your model so that you can have outlandishly colored skin. You can change all of the colors on all the clothes, the hair, the eyes. Very necessary, very basic features. Very good. And if you find that you make a mistake, you can just reset the channel. You can click and drag these sliders to affect the hue and the saturation and the luminosity. And then we have 4 arrows, and these arrows are offset arrows. If you click them, your character will move pixel by pixel, both in the bust graphic section here and in the walk preview. And this is useful for when you want to actually reposition the eyes or the nose just a little bit, just to make a character that looks slightly different. As for the file menu, we have new character, export, which allows you to export everything you've done as a JSON file so that you can open it back up later and work on it some more, or send it to a friend and have them work on it in their editor. And you have export as ping. You can export the face, the side view, and the walk graphics individually for use in importing into your RPG Maker engines. We have import, which will allow you to take your JSON file and put it into the engine, and we have change body type. As for the help menu, we just have an about, and then we have a link to the license agreement. I understood the license agreement as being you can use this program to create characters, and then you can use these character resources for any engine that is in the RPG Maker series. But definitely go to visit Stella's itch.io webpage and take a look at the most recent license agreement to make sure that this program is right for you. We will go to me. So we're just going to take a look at the different head types. We have a few. Get that into view. Pointy, strong chin, and then sort of a chubby one. And we'll go ahead and settle on one of them, and we'll rename that layer to head, and select our next layer, and look at all the rear hair options. Let's give it a different color. Yeah, as you see, when you go to change the color and it says color channel, we're not actually changing the color channel in all these cases. Sometimes it's just the component of the clothing or armor, whatever that you're changing. So it's a little wonky, and it won't always retain the color that you've selected, so you're not just able to pick a color and then cycle through all the hair to see what that hair will look like with that particular color. So we have 8 options for the female hair, and most of them are the same for the male hair. We'll get some bangs. I really like this messy one right here. One of the strengths of using this generator is the art does look really nice. And it does seem very, very limited out of the box right now. There's not a lot of selection, which I don't like, but the developer did say that they were going to release DLC packs. So we'll see. They did say they would be releasing free and paid DLC packs. Next layer, let's put some eyes on this lady. And we have different eye selections, and this is where the layering is really going to be handy for me. We're going to drag that layer right, well, not drag, we're going to click that layer right behind the front hair. Here are all the eye types. Closed. Now the eyes don't update on the walk sprite, I notice. Oh, some of them do, not all of them. You basically only have a couple of different eyes for the walk sprite. It's kind of a bummer. Alright, we're going to add another layer for the mouth. Show you all the mouths we have. Because it doesn't retain that color selection, the colors of the mouth and eyes and things are going to look a little wonky when you first select them. You've got to go in and change the color to make them look natural again. Now this thing, because it allows you to select different mouths and different eyebrows, at least you can make several character facial expressions on your bus graphic. So you'll always be able to make your character and then like a lot of different emotions for that character. There we go, that's looking a lot better. And then, as I said, you select a color channel, and then you can actually change the color of things in the image. Let's give her a nose, give her a sniffer, give her a snoot. We have a couple of different nose types. I'm not going to bother changing the color since it won't retain that. There's all the nose. We have an orc nose. I appreciate that. I'm sure that's not intentional. There we go. Now we're going to add another layer for the top. We're going to give this lady a shirt. And I'll show you all the outfit options we've got going on here. Just as before, you can change the coloration on all these clothing items. Striped shirt, schoolgirl blazer, paladin sleeve, rogue gear, and the healer garb, a more modern school outfit, a white tank top, and not my favorite, the varsity jacket. You've got fantasy, 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 and then you've got varsity jacket. Not the best use of our time. So let's select roguish gear here, and I like the colors as they are, but I'll go ahead and change one of them anyway. That's cool. I like me some red. And now we will add some bottoms. We'll cycle through all those. And I'm going to go ahead and take this and place the layer behind the top layer. Now, not all of these clothing articles will mesh well together. Some of them will stick out from the sides where they obviously should not be able to, like this skirt. That's just an unfortunate side effect of using a character generator that has, any amount of parts, and the developer did not go through all the possibilities of using the clothes together. So the more parts you have, the harder the developer has to kind of work and pay attention, and unfortunately that was not the case here. See, it makes more sense in the shorts because this is technically the bottom of the coat. I think that's the companion piece to that top. Oh no, it's definitely those. Cute skirt. Cute skirt. Jeans. So let's complete our rogue outfit here. And we'll give it a little hint of red somewhere, random spot. I don't really care. Hey, that works out. Ooh, no, we've got socks. Let's look at the socks. And you can tell the artist has got a thing for thigh highs. Those just straight up go cover the entire legs. So socks? I don't know about that. We'll look at the shoes. Got some flats. Slippers, some boots. Some awesome tank armor. Their ranged gear. Whoops, the Converses. I like the Converses. They're completely out of place, but I like them. And some waders almost, so let's go ahead and pick those, change the color. Change the blue channel. Change them to something that kind of clashes with the rest of the outfit. And we're going to add, do we have anything else we can do? Oh, accessory. Accessory 1. Now they just have an accessory 1. Despite the name, they do not have other accessories. It's a little weird. These change features very subtly on the face. There's the I've been awake for too long, or maybe the I'm 45 years old wrinkle. There's freckles. There's different pattern freckles. Very cute. Forehead wrinkles you can't see. You can because they layer above. They appear over there. There's a mole in different spots, a little beauty mark. There's laugh lines. I've got those now. Glasses. 2 different glasses types. There's this thing. I can't remember what it's called. The ahegel. The cowlick. They started putting this in doll makers, and I'm just like, please, no, I don't like that thing. Then we've got some cool hats. And the witch hat. And all those look like they all updated over on the character. Except for the stupid hair flips, maybe? Nope, those are on there too. So, I'm kind of partial to no hat at all. Uncheck the visibility box. I don't think anything needs to be changed about this character. I kind of like them as they are. So we're going to export them. I'm going to export the face as a ping. And I'm going to name her Stella. We'll do that again for the sprite. We're going to use the naming convention for RPG Maker MV to put a $sign in front so it intelligently already knows to separate the image into 12 slices and assign them correctly to their own frame. Let's change the body type. But when you do that, the application restarts. It is a bit bizarre. So now we're just going to go through again, but we're going to make a male. And here he is. He is built like a brick house. So I'm going to take this time to complain a little bit. We need more body types and we need more poses. If you don't have more body types and more poses, you end up with a limited amount of options. And although this thing advertises itself to be able to create thousands of characters, and that is technically true, you're talking about every possible combination. Every possible combination means you've got maybe a couple dozen at best that all look the same. I never ever want somebody to play my game and say, oh, look at that, those characters were made in Stella Character Generator. You do seem to be able to make your own graphics and just drop them into their respective folder. You can make more shirts and put them in the shirts folder, and I have no reason to believe that this program would not then read that. But you may need to do some editing to the JavaScript the JSON file that's included in every folder to get it to display in the editor. I'm not sure, but it's not very intuitive unless one of the users in the community figures out how to use the import-export function or directly edit the JSON files in Notepad. So for that reason, and because the licensure is a little bit strange, if I'm using a character generator, I should be able to use it for whatever game engine I want. That's my personal opinion on the matter. This engine is not for me. This engine is something that I would probably want my money back on because I'm not going to be able to find a use for it. I like the idea that I can put whatever images I want in it, maybe, hopefully. I haven't proven that to be true, and make a character that is unique to my game no matter what. But as far as its current feature set, no. It's not for me. It's not a buy. Not as a paid or as a free. Small pet peeve, the males and females get different shoes. Kind of makes sense because they have different graphics down there. They've got, the male's got larger legs, more muscular legs, whatever. But they should not have probably given them different shoes. That much I don't like. Let's export you as well. Complaint number 2, we've only got 4 body types to select from. We actually only have 2 body types to select from. The other 2 body types allow you to create 16 by 16 characters if you want them to be super tiny. The default size is 72 by 72, and these end up looking really, really good in RPG Maker, MV. And yeah, these characters look completely different over in the walk graphics. I can't zoom in on them. Oh yeah, I can. They are super tiny. So I apologize. I wish that I had zoomed in that side of the screen for the entirety of the video, so you could have actually seen what these graphics look like on the character. Something I feel this program does have to its credit is its art. The sprites and the bus graphics do look really, really good. Even if you don't care for the style of the bus graphics, the sprites look really, really good. Though I suppose that is subjective as well. You might not like this style of sprite. I'm going to export her, despite the fact I did not give her a head, because she has a head in the walking graphic, and that's all I care about for this demonstration. Alright, it's time to see what this thing can actually do. So I don't want to just put them into RPG Maker. I actually want to put them into RPG Maker MV using the MV3D plugin, so we kind of get to see them living their best life. Come on, you're not going to be able to see any better demonstration. Unless we go ahead and look at them in 3D. Well, the character's going to be in 2D, but the map scene will be in 3D, so. Now, full disclosure, I've already seen them. I know what they look like, and they look pretty great in my opinion. They're stylized, but they look really nice. They don't go well at all with the other sprites in RPG Maker, the default ones. So if you're going to use this tool, you will probably want to, it looks really good, but I kind of messed up when I hit the offset, and you don't see a problem when they're walking down, but when they go up, you see that graphic right above. That's it's catching the bottom graphic on the frame that is positioned above it in the character walking sprite sheet, so that is my bad, but that is something that can happen if you are playing around with the pixel movement. You can actually bork that up. But yeah, if you're going to use this tool, use it to create your entire sprite library. Don't mix and match the looks of your sprites because they clash terribly. Yeah, but it does look really good walking around, forgiving my character design to begin with. And then here's just a preview of what the 16 by 16 sprites look like. Again, probably not the best representation of your usage if you're not going to be using like the 3D plugin like I am, but this is what they would look like when compared to the larger sprites in RPG Maker. So if you're using an engine that supports the 16 by 16 look and that's what all your tiles are set at, then that's great. If not, don't use it with MV. Not only will you have to use your engine to create every single sprite for your game because this clashes terribly, you will also have to use it to recreate every single tile because this sprite does not go well with these tiles. There's just no reason to use it unless you're looking to make a especially small character like a gnome or a fairy brownie or something like that. Look at the size of that chicken. So that's it. The tool is not for me. I would probably get a refund if I could, but I'm always glad to support the developers in some way. And my final thoughts and my kind of hopeful message to the developer is, the publisher, whoever, please, please, please grow that asset library. This thing is almost unusable unless somebody really needs to fill a specific need and create just half dozen characters for their game, at the risk of the characters looking the exact same because somebody else could have also selected from those very limited options and created a very similar looking character for their game. And then since Stella retains the rights to the assets in this program, both developers, both game creators are then able to make their games with those identical characters and no legal issues would be able to arise from that. It all makes sense and it's all fine and dandy because, you know, that's a world where you'd have to care about that sort of thing, but it still kind of bothers me that that's possible. I want more options. I want accessory 2, accessory 3. I want things added to this program like crazy, and if I'm being particularly cantankerous, that needs to be the default, so a lot of that needs to be free. We're paying for this, and out of the box, this has no advantage over the character generator that comes included with RPG Maker MV, except for that it creates the rest of the body graphic instead of just the face sprite. If you want to create a character, you have that capability already, and the character generator included with MV is far more powerful already out of the box. So no reason to even spend the money on something like this, but this does create the body, and it does create super tall sprites, and if you wanted the super tall sprites in the character creator for MV, you would have to do all of the legwork of putting the tall sprites in there yourself anyway. So last word, this is useful if you're going to use it to create a handful of characters for your RPG Maker game, and unusable if you're using it for any other engine. So that is where I leave my thoughts off. What did you think? Please feel free to have a different opinion. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me to eat your shorts. I want to know. I want to know if you spent money on this. What are your thoughts? Did you like it? Do you think it's useful? Do you think it's way better than what I have outlined here? I made this video because there's not a lot of information on this program out there on YouTube. There's like one video, and it's the developer's ad for this engine. One of the things that they use to sell it is, you know, why pay $100, upwards of $100 and $200 for a commission to get your sprites made when you can just get this at a fraction of the price. I will never ever pay $100 for any of the character graphics that I've seen in here. I'm not sure what exactly they would be referencing, but if you are paying $100 for this level of graphic, then that's kind of on you as the game creator. But if you retain the licensure and you can use it with other 2D engines, then you already have a leg up over what you're making in this program. So that's it. Let me know what you thought. I will leave a link in the description below to the program itself, so you can go check it out, check out the videos, and maybe buy it if you want. And you'll have to answer the question whether or not it suits your needs on your own. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a good one.